Hello, and welcome back to the next coding game challenge. It's been a few months since the last one. I've done quite a few of these now. I think 2 a year, usually. On occasions, there have only been 1 a year because they replaced one of them with like some interview-style thing, which I didn't like. But this one is indeed a bot challenge, so the general premise is that you have this game and you have an API and everything for controlling a entity or character in the game, and you have to write the code for how the AI acts. And then your code is pitted against other people's. So in this case, this is my first time seeing it, but it looks like we're playing Snake. And it looks like you're controlling your snakes and have more than one snake. Probably have to collect these things. Okay. It looks like it will be simple in terms of amount of features and stuff. I didn't like those games where they had too many features to keep track of. The Dota one, the Marvel superheroes one comes to mind. Doesn't mean it's easy though. Obviously, your algorithms can be very complex, but so to get started, let's just do a whole bunch of reading. No, not this. Okay. Snag power sources to grow your snake-like robots and make sure you have the biggest bots standing. Yeah, so I guess the snake actually increases in size. No, not much description. Oh, there's this stuff down here. Yeah, okay. That's relatively short. Oh, no, Wood League. Interesting, they got rid of Wood League. Are they still doing it like we're in the tutorial? Which is the new system they've been using, which is actually a good system. Okay. I'll be right back, just getting my coffee. And put the music on as well. All right, so the game is played on a grid. Nice, I like grids. Is it a it looks like it's a 4 directions grid movement system. Each player controls a team of snake bots. On each turn, the snake bots move simultaneously according to the player's commands. The grid is seen from the side. Made up of platforms. Platforms are impossible cells. Oh yay, I'm in the box. Okay. Body and power sources. Alright. Snakebot. Snakebots are multiple adjacent cell-sized body parts. The first cell being their head. They're affected by gravity, meaning at least one body part must be above something solid, although full. That's interesting. Okay. Other snakebots are considered solid, as well as platforms and power sources. snakebots are perpetually moving and will on each turn head in the last direction they were facing unless given a new direction to turn by the player. Starting direction is up. When moving, a snakebot will advance their head in the direction it is facing and the rest of its body parts will follow. If the cell the snakebot's head is moved into contains a platform or other body part, the snakebot's head is destroyed and the next part in its body becomes the new head. This only happens if is has at least 3 remaining parts. Okay. If the cell the snakebot is moved into contains a power source, the snakebot will eat it. The snakebot grows, a new body part appears at the end of its body. How do you define the end of its body? Alright, this cell is no longer considered solid. Multiple snakebot heads collide on a cell containing a power source. Then each of those snakebots eat it. Once movement and removals are resolved, the snakebots all fall downwards until a body part lands on something solid. It is possible to extend your snakebot beyond the borders of the grid, but falling out of the playing area will result in the snakebot being removed. Each turn, players must provide at least one action on the standard output. Actions must be separated by a semicolon and be one of the following. Up, down, left, right. Okay. Hello, SG. Bye. You're doing the same thing in C++. Are you finding it okay? Have you done these competitions before? Do you recommend any other language? I mean, my recommendation is almost always gonna be Python. From my experience, Python usually is pretty good for these. The only exception is certain competitions they've had in the past have been like very heavily based on pruning large trees, in which case C++ kind of had the advantage. But there were only like 1 or 2 competitions where that was a big deal, and that was just because of the design of that particular, I think it was like the Pac-Man game. The design of that particular game involved a lot of pruning big trees, and people were often hitting the time limits with Python. But most of the games I do, I never go anywhere close to the time limit, so I personally find Python the easiest to code in and do anything mathematically related, especially like things with vectors and strings and stuff, so I always use Python. Okay, so each snake has an ID. Mark. Places a marker at the specified coordinates. Well, that's a debugging thing, okay. Wait, do nothing. Have more total body parts across all your snakebots than your opponent at the end of the game. Interesting. quite a short description for this league. All right. All right, let me just pull one thing from my past competition. What was the last one? Last one was in July last year. I'm gonna copy this one. Probably some other things too. So we've got a logging statement, just useful. I have published PVNP, as in P versus NP, solver challenge kind of research paper, like 70 variables on a 9-year-old laptop, and the solver was made in Python. But I like C framework more, like I got one of the world's most secure defense system made in C# and C++. It's my first one for CodinGame, but I'm very competitive. Check COC leaderboard, for instance. COC? I'm not familiar. Oh. Clash of Code or something? I think I've heard of it. I don't think I've done it. Clash of Code. Yeah, I've heard about that one. I might have even tried it at some point. I can't remember. I wanted to copy something else. What did I want? Oh, this vector class. Oh, we got grid. We got a lot of stuff we could copy forward. Alright, I'll copy this in and try and fiddle around with it. Clash of Code, it's in coding. Oh, Clash of Code. Yeah, okay. It's not a website. It's the one where you're. Yeah, I remember now. I haven't done that in a long time. Where you've got like it's either like the shortest code or the fastest runtime or the reverse mode. The reason I stopped doing that is because I really don't like the shortest code game, and there didn't seem to be an option to just not do that one, and I hated that whenever it came up. I don't know, have they fixed that now? Because that was a big complaint by a lot of people. Like, a lot of people just don't want to do code golf because it's just not that thing, and it also promotes like languages which are specially designed for golf, which is, in my view, just kind of defeats the point. Yeah, I might consider getting back into it if they could get rid of the golf thing. Like, that's just a really specialized thing, and it's not even good programming practices. Like, coding golf is a really weird, like, esoteric way of coding. Let's copy that. Yeah, like, a few years back, I did, like, it on stream where I would, like, invite viewers to just, like, join in my, compete against me. We need to make this window big. Oh, yeah, we need data class. Check my rank on the world leaderboard, and it's shown on the lobby which mode it is, so we can leave the lobby and join another lobby. Oh, so you know what the game mode will be before the game starts? That's fine, I guess. I think it didn't, yeah. Back when I played it, you didn't have the choice. It's just like, you would know what type of mode it is the moment the timer started. And like, if you left, then that would just count as a loss for you. Oh, no, no, it's not default dict I want, it's this one. Alright. So, before I do anything with the game, I'm just creating like a vector class. We've got x, y, add, subtract, equality, hash, less than, distance. Yeah, it's 4 directional, so it's the Hamming metric. Distance diag, we probably don't need that one. And then I got grid. Yeah, okay. Well, let's see what... Oh, that's not that game. See what things we've got. We've got the width and the height. Wait. My ID, width, height. Okay. So... let's just do... Oh, I think they've already got some boilerplate code down here. I'll put this before the grid definition. Let's change these to capital letters. Okay. Storing ints in the grid. Do I actually want that though? I mean, the real question is, what am I even using the grid for? Maybe if we just have a set of walls, just a bunch of sets for the entities, we don't actually need the grid. Although it would be useful to look up what's in a specific spot. But you don't really need to do that, I think. There's not many things here. There's just snakes, walls, and power-ups. There might be more things later on though. So we probably don't need the grid at all. Okay. What else? Okay, so yeah, we don't have the grid. We don't need that. Just delete it. Okay, so yeah, we've got pause, we've got this. All right, so I in range height row equals input. Okay. So it's just platforms and cells. All right, fine. For J R in right row. Let's just do dot strip in case. There's like white space characters. Okay, for J car. So what? I guess we just want a list of walls. Walls equals set. I've already beaten the AI and right now on rank 814. Not bad. How many people are there this time? Usually there's a few thousand. Still the arena is running and I'm in 3rd on gold level in mad pod racing. That's my own experience for CodinGame contest. Oh wow, the pod racing one. That was a long time ago, wasn't it? Like a decade ago. Yeah, I remember that one. I probably have a rank in there. I don't remember. Oh, we can have a look. You're a veteran. Yeah, I was an early adopter to some extent. I was here since the old days. Oh, mad pod racing. I'm ranked 74,986. I think this one I didn't really spend much time on. I think I might have done the actual live competition, but then the bot programming is separate from that, so I don't think it was exactly the same, so my original code didn't work. So I might not have bothered to, like, adapt it to work. Yeah, I don't think I've written proper code for this. Let's check the past event though, because I might have done better in that, or maybe not. Pod past contests. It's like a really old one. Do these even have names? Can't control F here because they don't even have names. I think I might have passed it. No, it was earlier than these. Game of Drones, Mars Lander, Tron Battle. Then what's this one? I don't know what this one is. The contest is over. Okay, what was it? They got no details. Have they basically just lost all the history of these events? Doesn't even have a name. Interesting. Alright, well, it doesn't look like they have details on that old competition. My final rank is 786. What the current one? The snake one. So it looks like there's how many? 17,000? Wow, it's quite a lot. That might be normal. I haven't really been keeping track of how many people participate in each of these. Alright. If car equals hash walls dot add position the question is, do I want to use X and Y or I and J? Probably X and Y. Okay. So, I mean, they're basically the same. X is J. Y is Yeah, why is I? They're the same thing. Alright. So that's the walls. Snake bots per player. There's only one opponent, okay. Sometimes you have games where there's like 4 opponents, 3 opponents. There was one game where it was co-op, so you had a buddy. It was a 3-player game, and you were... No. I can't remember how it worked. It was a 4-player game, but it was 2v2. It was an interesting system. It was the cooking one. So you had to cooperate with your randomly assigned ally. Okay. So how do we define a snake? Do we have to define every piece of its body? Yeah. I mean, we should. Okay. Okay. So, snake bots per player. Per player? Yeah, but they might have different numbers of snake bots, because they can die, can't they? Oh, so if a snakebot dies, you still get it appear in this list? Okay. It's confusing. Fine. I'm gonna give like 3-4 more tries, then I'm going for Assassin's Creed Rogue. Sorry, so what's your username? I can follow you on here as well. Is it the same as your Twitch? Ah, there we go. Wife. Menu tab. Follow. Ah, there we go. Assassin's Creed Rogue. Oh, which one was that one? Was that... It was like the Pirates one. No, the Pirates one was Black Flag, but Rogue was like a had a little bit of pirate stuff in it. Was that right? Which came after Black Flag. A little bit of island hopping, cave exploring. And you played as like a Viking guy or something. Not a Viking, but just like the one after Black Flag, and it's 90% Black Flag, but better. Yeah, I don't remember much about it. I think I remember it was good. Assassin turned to Templar. Ah. They're remaking Black Flag, aren't they? There's a remake coming out, or remastering or something. I played all the Assassin's Creeds up to the London one. Whatever it's called. But I don't know what's next. I haven't been that interested in the series. I just sort of play them whenever I end up getting them for free. I do like the stories, but the gameplay is always a bit meh most of the time. I mostly just try to get through the main story as quickly as possible. Alright, so... Okay, so snake bots per player. Okay, so snake bots per player is fixed, and even if the snakes die, you still get these IDs here. Alright, I get it now. So I think we'll define a class called snake. I played like 13 hours and 26% done. Oh, really? I guess there's a lot of side stuff you can do. Like, I always thought if you only focused on the main story, it's usually quite short. Like, you usually finish it in like 10 to 15 hours or so. But I suppose if you do a lot of the side stuff, then it can take much longer. Snake. So we've got an ID num. It's pretty much just an ID num. And just a list. Yeah, just a list of its coordinates of each body segment, starting with the head, right? And that would tell you what the head is as well. And the tail. I don't think you care about the tail. Well, you care about every body segment because they're all relevant, I suppose, but you just keep them as a list. Alright, so let's say body. It's like a list of paws. Saw a video, it said main story is 35 to 40 hours, but side quest added will be 60 hours. Oh, interesting. For main story, that's actually longer than I remember. Well, I don't remember anything about Rogue, really. But that feels longer than the games usually take. So we won't get head. Get head. Turn self dot body 0, I guess. We can change all this stuff later. ID num. I'm not planning to spend too long on this today, just hopefully enough to pass like the tutorial or something. So we'll say my snakes. All right, we need to do the thing that I always do. We need to create game. I have a pattern which I always follow. And then we got, let's say, man, I've forgotten how to type. I haven't done any like proper coding for a while. Getting rusty. So yeah, but this stuff is fixed, it will never change. Normally, stuff that I put in game is stuff that changes. Okay. Okay. So, let's not do that yet. Walls is fixed. That, like, never changes after turn by turn. And this is just a list of IDs. It's not actually saying anything about the snakes. Okay. My... See, I'm not being consistent here. Sometimes I'm using underscores, sometimes I'm using camel case. Should be using underscores. Alright, my snakes equals list, and then my snakes dot append snake my snake bot ID. Alright, so that just puts it in there. It doesn't have any properties, it just has an ID num. That's the important thing. And then we've got enemy snakes, and let me do this. Alright, that takes care of that. Alright, while true. Power source count. Okay, so this stuff changes. Alright, let's now create... Oops. Game. So this is just stuff that gets recreated every turn, reconstructed every turn. So, we've got power sources is a set of, like, pauses. That's the power sources, and then snake bot count. Huh? I see. Okay. This shouldn't be a list, it should be a dictionary. So my snake ID equals that. Okay, alright, so we've got my snakes, got my enemy snakes. We put it in a dictionary so we can look at by ID now, because we need to do that. And then we've got the power sources. And now finally we need to kind of configure the snakes. So they're already in this list and they'll never get removed. They'll just get rewritten in place, or at least their bodies will. So for IM range snakebot count, inputs. Okay, so the snake equals interesting. Here, it doesn't say who owns the snake. So unless we monitor that, what we actually have to do is have Earth just like a dictionary called snakes, and it doesn't matter who owns it. But we do want to keep track of which snakes are alive, and that's a different thing. All right. All right, we just have a thing called snakes. Keeps track of all the snakes. Doesn't matter who owns them. Okay. Snake equals snakes ID. And then body. All right, what do we do with this body? A string of colon-separated coordinates. Okay, not too bad. All right, so body. Let's say snake dot body equals, just make it a list again. Discard its body, shed its skin. That's what snakes do. And then for, let's call it segment. It's like in. So it's oh, they're on the same line. Okay. Fine. Alright, so it's inputs 1 dot split colon x y equals int z for z in segment dot bit of a roundabout way of doing this. Do it like that. Snake dot body dot end was y. Okay, and then finally we need to just keep track of our snakes. My snakes is a list of snake. Enemy snakes is a list of snake. Alright, almost done with the input handling. Now, if alright, we need one more thing here. We need to keep track of whether this is mine. And we know that here. If snake dot is mine, game dot my snakes dot append snake, else game dot enemy snakes dot append snake. There we go. So now just run this all and see if there's any compilation errors. And now we try and do something. What is the most basic thing we can do? Oh, these aren't initialized. I always forget whether you need to do this. Yeah, you do. Makes sense, because it shouldn't assume how you want to initialize them. Okay. It's not crashing, that's a start. Okay, we need some output methods here. Fine, let's say wait. And that's just gonna do print wait. Print wait. Yeah, but don't you need to do one for each snake? How does this work? Do you not need to say which snake is waiting? Oh, wait is just do absolutely nothing. So it's basically just an empty... Okay, I see. Okay. Alright. So I think the way we do this is... Don't do that. Commands. There's a list of strings. Define output. If not, so if we don't have any commands, then we print wait, else print, just join them up with semicolons. That's how it works. And then the individual commands will be like ID up, ID down, okay. I'm not going to bother with mark unless we actually want to use it. Alright, so then it's move. We need a move method, so move in a direction. So we got I always forget how to do F strings, even though they've been out for like so many years now. It's curly brackets, isn't it? And you put the variable name inside. Okay. Alright. So we do F so it's you do first it's the ID and then it's up, down, left, right. Okay, so now 656 rank and last try for this time. Oh, nice. Yeah, when the next league opens, probably you'll be straight in there. It's usually the top like, I don't know, third of people or something. Well, bronze to silver, yeah, it'll probably be quite a lot of people. Yeah, like if you remain in like the top 1,000 or so, then you have a chance of getting to gold. Usually. But it can get harder because after a few days, a lot more people have started or released something they've been working on for days, so the competition gets a bit tougher. Self.commands.append. So we've got to give it a snake and a direction. So it would be snake.idnum. And then a direction. Let's just make a little thing here. Yeah, so it's up, down, left, right. Yeah, okay. So it's gonna be like 0, 1 would be up, right? Yeah, okay. And then just do dia mapping. There we go. Okay, that's all the inputs and outputs. Now we gotta actually do something. Yeah, what happens if they die? Do they just have no body? But they still exist in the table? Would they still even come through in the, We'll find out eventually. Okay, So shall we just do something like send the snakes to the nearest? Well, they need to pathfind around obstacles and stuff. So we do, at the very minimum, probably need to do like breadth first search for that. But it's not very competitionally expensive. If we try to move into a wall, we'll just die. So... we'll have to, we have to write breadth first search eventually. Okay, that's fine. We knew we would have to. Some games, they actually just give you, like, you can just move to a faraway thing and it automatically pathfinds. Actually, no, not necessarily. Well, actually, yeah. Oh, no, yeah, but those games are ones which don't have obstacles anyway. If there are obstacles, though, usually you do actually have to write some pathfinding to begin with. Oops. Okay. But, I mean, I could copy some stuff from before because we've done this a million times. Have a look. So did I not have any pathfinding for this? I don't think it was one which needed it. Fine. Suppose we have to write some stuff from scratch. Is inbounds. Well, technically there's no limit. Well, yeah, but you don't want the head to move out of... Well, no, the head can move out of the map. As long as you just don't move the whole snake out of the map. You may actually want to weave out and in. That's interesting. But there is... So there is like a theoretical limit to how far we can go from the map before it would... Okay. Alright, let's write something a bit like really bare bones. Just do like so last try is testing an arena right now. What do you think will my next rank will increase or decrease? Well, have you changed the code? Or is it just the same code? Okay, so we're gonna need, let's say here, we're gonna need get path from start goal to a goal. And this is a path that avoids walls and snakes. What's interesting is you have to also consider your own snake. Like, you don't want to cross over yourself, but then again, as you move, your body's moving, so that is we won't worry about that aspect right now. Okay, so alright, so we need from collections, imports, is it heap queue? Yeah, but it's not from collections, it's like heap queue. Yeah, but this is for like priority queue. We don't actually need that. Forget what it's called. What the class is. That's the one. Double-ended queue. So from a starting location to a goal. All right. So Q equals so we put that in there, and then we want a came from It's trying to find the shortest path. So we've got while Q current equals Q dot pop. If current is the goal, break out of the loop. So we found the goal. Came from... No. Yeah, we also need a distance map. Can't remember how to do. Okay, yeah. Okay, so that's the goal check. Now you need to find neighbors, right? Was there anything else we need to do here? Well, if we were using A star or something, then we'd need to do something. We'll worry about A star later, but this isn't Dijkstra right now, so we don't need to worry about a lazy deletion or whatever. Okay, so we need a get neighbors method, which I think, okay, we don't have. So it'll be for delta in, so it'll just be pause, like, we yield self plus delta. That should get the 4 neighbors. So down here, where am I writing the... Oh, down here, okay. It should be before... Walls are defined down here. I think we need to move this down. Alright. Do we worry about snakes? Well, yeah, of course we worry about snakes. We should. I mean, snakes as obstacles, but yeah, that is an important thing to avoid as well. But then it's a bit weird because... it's fine. Last try was not good. Got 825. Gonna switch to the previous 655 rank code and buy. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter too much at this stage, though, because even if you write code which you think is better and it brings your rank down, that can happen, but remember, there's going to be lots of features added. Or, actually, will there? Yeah, there should be, because it's a bit simple right now. There'll be features added, so it might, like, stuff you do now might assist when we have new game features. So came from just. So for neighbor in current dot get neighbors, if neighbor hello, played chess. How's it going? What rank did you get? I haven't really submitted anything yet, or passed whatever the tutorial bot is. Hopefully by the end of this stream, although I wanted to finish fairly soon, so I might not even get a rank before the end of the stream. We'll see. Have you got a rank yourself? If I'm trying to remember how this works. If neighbor in if it's breadth first search, then if we find a node, it's the shortest path we could have ever taken to that node. So if neighbor in came from, that means that neighbor is already dealt with. Is AI allowed? Well, you have to define the question a bit better, because it is literally an AI competition, and it always has been. Using LLMs is probably not allowed. I don't know what the stance is, but usually the answer is no. They don't want anyone using LLMs, because otherwise it's just, you're not really competing. But I don't know for sure, but I don't personally. I would guess the answer is no. But AI is allowed in terms of AI algorithms and stuff, because that's literally what the competition is, to write AI. But just not generative AI that writes code for you. LLMs, yeah. I mean, the distinction, yeah, it may be obvious, but the distinction does matter sometimes, because some people don't realize the difference. Yeah, I don't know whether they've had a problem with people using AI code, because that's certainly been the case for some competitions like Advent of Code, which this year was the first year Advent of Code just shut down the global leaderboard altogether, because it was just pointless having it, because people were just always just submitting and getting to the top rank in like under 1 second when the problem came out. Alright, so if neighbor not in came from continue. Alright, so then we've got we found a neighbor. The dist of the neighbor will be the dist of current plus 1. He came from neighbor equals current. Alright, SG bye. See you in the future. Good luck with the competition. What strategy are you going for? Haven't really thought about it. Right now, I'm just writing a breadth first search and trying to take the shortest path from each snake to, I suppose, the nearest power source. I mean, it won't even technically work because it's not taking gravity into account. But maybe for small maps, it might at least get them to Yeah, the gravity is going to screw this up. I haven't really coded that in. I think next session I'll have to sit down and work out which which nodes are reachable and which nodes aren't, and also work out exactly where the body will be, because the body falls down. Yeah, I have to think about it. Yeah, like, how does this snake get up? It can't go up, Space. It can't go up right now. It could go right, up, up. Wait, no, if it went right, then it would fall down, but then it would be able to go up. Okay, so it can go right and up. Yeah, so this algorithm's not even going to work. It's going to keep trying to jump up. This one might. I don't know whether it resolves collecting the item before. Probably would. Left and eat to get 4. Yeah. Yeah, the algorithm I'm writing now is... I just wanted something simple that will do something out of the box, but right now it probably won't even work out of the box, because I don't think any of these snakes will actually... Maybe this one, at the very least, will actually reach that. Well, then it would fall. That's fine. Then it could go left. Eating happens before gravity is resolved. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then the tail is created. Didn't really want to stream for much longer. This was just supposed to be a quick session. I wonder if there's something very quick I can do. Alright, well, we'll just code this as if gravity isn't a thing and just see what happens. As long as it doesn't error, that's something. So came from current, and then what do? We need to put it on the queue. Queue dot append neighbor. And then when we break out of the queue, we need to construct the path. So path equals that. Oh, I haven't taken walls into account. Or snakes. Or even out of bounds. Out of bounds doesn't matter too much because we are allowed to go out of bounds as long as we come back in bounds, but also because we'll eventually find a path, it probably won't be an issue. It probably won't be an infinite loop. Okay, if neighbor in walls. Continue. Just that. Now there should be something for snakes as well. I can't be bothered to write that now because we need to actually write, we need to create a set of all the snakes' bodies. For now, we'll just pretend we can go through snakes. We don't want to go back on ourselves, though. Could happen. All right. Path equals that. So temp equals goal. While temp is not none, path dot append temp equals came from temp. So when temp is none, we break out of this loop and we should end up going back to the start. Then just reverse it. want to discard the start as well. Okay, just return path. That. And the distance as well. Probably want dist goal. Distance and the path. There we go. Alright, so let's do the logic. For snake in my snakes. So let's say start equals snake dot get head. It seems LLMs are allowed actually. Oh really? Have they made an explicit ruling on that? That surprises me. It just seems like that just makes the competition kind of pointless. Like, we've easily reached the point where LLMs can outperform a lot of competitors within seconds. That's been demonstrated with the advent of code. Alright, I mean, I don't really go for the prizes or anything, so it doesn't matter too much for me, but start equals snake.getHead. Alright, got okay. Let's just say best power, like the power source, equals none. Best dist equals none. Or how would you prevent maybe it's not, I don't know, someone said it, but they might be wrong. I mean, most of these competitions ban them. How would you prevent players from using external LLMs? Well, you can't. That's sort of why the competition scene is dying. Like, competitive coding has died hard in the past few years. Google have shut down their Google Code Jam that I used to compete in since 2012. Advent of Code is the other big one that I do every year. They've shut down their global leaderboard this last Christmas. Like, you can't compete anymore. Yeah, you can't prevent. All you can do is just have an honor system and just not offer prizes anymore. Basically, the competitive scene is mostly killed because you can't catch LLMs. I don't think it matters now since it's still a challenge to be #1 if everyone is using LLMs. Yeah, but the problem is that like people who are using LLMs just aren't really coding, they aren't doing anything. So it becomes a question of what is the identity of this competition, like what are people really competing on, who can type a prompt into an LLM. That like if people want to so there was a suggestion for Advent of Code to have a separate LLM leaderboard from the non-LLM leaderboard, and maybe that was a good suggestion because then it would actually be somewhere where the people who like doing LLMs could compete, and then there's still a place where the non-LLMs could compete. But the guy behind Advent of Code didn't like that suggestion. He doesn't want to promote using LLMs for that purpose, so he's stuck with just shutting down the leaderboard full stop. But yeah, people have for like years like honed their skills in pathfinding, tree pruning, all this stuff. So yeah, to actually nullify all that by allowing people to just type a prompt in is I guess not really the point of what the competition used to be. For short clashes, you're right, since it's brainless, but for creating a whole bot using LLMs is not actually skillless. It's like creating a chess engine using LLMs. That won't matter. It's still extreme technical challenge to create the best one. Yeah, but it's a different skill set. That's the issue. It's not the skill set that all the veterans who have been here have been using. So they'll stop playing. The new batch of people who might join, maybe it's for them now. That's fine, but I don't think those people are going to stick around. Like the real fan base and the ones that they're getting their sponsorship money from, which is how the website stays alive, were the ones doing all like the real coding before. I think this is their statement. Anyway, LLM usage is authorized, yes. We allow it for a few reasons, but the main one really is that would be next to it being impossible to enforce a ban on LLMs. Yeah, they might be right. Like, I don't know. I haven't actually tried yeah. They have a point that this is a bit different from Advent of Code. Advent of Code was usually like, it would have a puzzle, you had to get an answer, and then usually it's, when you've got the answer, it's clear you've got the answer. So it wasn't really an optimization, open-ended optimization problem. So yeah, maybe I'm simplifying it a bit unfairly in comparing it with Advent of Code. This is a step further than Advent of Code, so maybe they're right. Maybe you can't yet get to the top of the leaderboard using LLMs. But it's only a matter of time. Maybe in a few years that will be the case. Like I haven't tried like the $100 a month versions of ChatGPT and stuff like that, so I don't know how they'll fare, but like if you pay like the really expensive monthly prices and then just use project mode where you just have the AI just continuously trying different things and submitting and using the API to make new submissions and like use reinforcement testing to see whether you did better or worse and stuff. You could literally just leave it on for days and just have the AI do all that stuff. And that's easy to do. Like there's a whole project mode in ChatGPT that does stuff like that. And in theory, I would think that would do well, but then it means they'd have to spend hundreds of dollars. So like the prizes on offer are like $20 or something, and it's a gift card. So I doubt anyone's really seriously trying to win those gift cards using the paid version of ChatGPT, but that won't get you very up there. People are very smart. Probably not. Yeah, no, I don't know. I never tried it. The only thing I tried as an experiment was for Advent of Code. After each puzzle, there were a couple of years where I would then use ChatGPT and test to see how well it could do, and it beat me like 80% of the time on the problems. As in, it solved the problem much faster than I did. But that was years ago. ChatGPT is much stronger than it was back then. Hello, Cat Peasant. We are doing some AI coding and also discussing the how much ChatGPT or LLMs in general have wrecked the coding scene, or at least the competitive coding scene. I don't know what competitive coding scene websites are even still active now. I guess there's like HackerRank is dead. Google CodeJam is dead. I mean, I'm not really much of a competitive coder anyway. This is really the only competition I ever do, so I don't know what people still do. How do you feel about AIs in general? Like, do you think they're going to take over? I'm not that concerned, but I do think they probably will take over. Yeah, I mean, it's been demonstrated that they can do the things that people claim they do. So I think they will take over a lot of things, but isn't using LLMs for competitive coding kind of dumb? It is, but for whatever reason, there are people who get a kick out of doing it, and that was demonstrated for Advent of Code. And the guy who runs Advent of Code, Eric Wustel, he received emails from people who are using the LLMs, and they told him, like, they don't care about the ban, they're just going to use them. Which is just, I don't get what pleasure they get out of doing it, but they do. They really get a kick out of appearing on the leaderboard, like solving the problem within like 0.7 seconds. Yeah. Like maybe they think some company is gonna see that they're at the top of the leaderboard and offer them a job. They won't, but they're probably deluded into thinking that might work. Like back before AAI, but back before LLMs were prominent, that was realistic. Like if you were at the top of the leaderboards, you would get companies offering you interviews, and that happened to me. I got offered an interview at Google because I was not at the top, but just like in the top 500 or so in the Google Code Jam 2012. That was decades ago. I never really managed to repeat that performance since. That was my peak. Nowadays, I doubt that happens anymore because the leaderboards are just full of AIs. So I guess it's the same as people who cheat in competitive games. Yeah, I don't know if what like you mean like things like Fortnite, like actual video games, with shooting bots and stuff, aim hacks. That's certainly a problem as well. If you're able to generate and understand, explain the code generated by the LLM, why not? Why not? Well, my argument for why not is because it's just a different skill set. I like if people want to compete in who can write the best LLM, that's a sport in itself. But it's just a different sport from what this sport once was. So it's not a sport that I'm interested in competing in. But it's just for people who still enjoy the sport the way it used to be, they want a scene where they can still do this. That's the difference. Video games and even things like bike racing with Lance Armstrong. He did it and he was at the top, so I guess everyone does it. Yeah, I mean, in uh competitive gaming as a sport, like I don't know, like I don't know what games are really trending nowadays. Like yeah, exactly, League of Legends and stuff, where there's huge amounts of money at hand and people's careers like literally have full-time jobs doing this. Then I guess there's a whole other motivation. For stuff like this though, like the best you're gonna get is like a $20 gift card, if even that. So for events like this one, we have 13 days to optimize. Using LLM might get you to Legend League, but you won't get top 10. Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think you can get top 10 with LLMs. Like, I think for these optimization problems, LLMs just aren't strong enough yet. They're strong enough to beat Advent of Code. By the way, I keep mentioning Advent of Code, but like, in case anyone doesn't know what it is, this is the other thing I program and compete in and stream heavily. But it's only done every Christmas. But this is it, adventofcode.com, and basically a new problem is released every day until Christmas, or, well, no, it's changed now, the first 12 days of December. But it's really good, and it's a fun thing, and it's not really competitive anymore because AI destroyed the competitive scene, but people do it for fun. And the problems are always like, sometimes they involve pathfinding, sometimes it's like solving a, this is like a combination block puzzle. Often it's just like stuff on a grid with pathfinding and stuff, but yeah, this is a good alternative to CodinGame. A little bit more relaxed. You get more people just like discussing and sharing ideas and stuff. How do you feel about the skill set becoming useless as AI get better and better? Uh, Probably not as bad as a lot of people feel. I believe in the philosophy of if it actually the end goal of programming was always to be lazy and always to get computers to do our work for us. So it's in line with the philosophy of programming. Like it's what we always envisioned. Like programmers are at the core lazy, and we we've always wanted to minimize the amount of input we put in to have the computer do our work for us. That was literally always what we wanted. So from a science perspective, it's probably a good thing, and that's the perspective like I've I have most familiarity with because I used to be a research scientist in the computer science field. Uh, how do you feel about every skill becoming useless as AI gets better? Uh, I don't know. If it means AI can do our jobs for us, and then I could just sit about playing video games all day every day, I'm probably fine with that. um, but I don't know what will actually happen. Um, when it comes to, I mean, obviously the main concern is money. Like people are worried that they won't have their earning power, and that's a justifiable problem to have. But if we put that to the side, like purely from a philosophical point of view, I don't have an issue with AI replacing things. Like I think certainly in the field of medicine and stuff, like I think it's mostly a good thing, and uh people's lives have been saved by the improvements in AI since the 90s, certainly. I think LLMs are also a multiplier still, at least for programmers. A bad user of the LLMs will still get garbage out. What? Because like if they type their prompt badly? Maybe, but I don't know. LLMs are getting smarter and smarter, so like it'll probably reach the point where you don't even have to be good at the skill of writing a good prompt. I mean, I do teach AI at a university every year. I get invited um, for the last 5 years, I think. One of these years, they're probably not going to invite me back because I don't know. I imagine they're just going to stop doing the workshop. But like I did it this January, and it is clearly students are becoming more interested in AI because of the boom in AI. Because I get more signups to my class every year. This year, we had so many students sign up to it that I had to have 2 separate classes. That's fine by me. They actually booked a hotel for me for 2 weeks instead of 1, and I taught the course twice. But also, a lot of the students who turn up to the workshop clearly are expecting me to. They were under the impression that I'd be teaching about LLMs, and I have to have a disclaimer in the first day explaining I'm teaching you proper AI, not LLMs. So sorry for anyone who thought they were signing up to an LLM course, but that's not what this is. Although the students aren't that bothered by it, they do like what I teach them, and they do like looking at the pathfinding and breadth first search, all this raw data structure stuff. What subpart of AI do you teach? I do a course mostly where I just teach stuff similar to CodinGame stuff. So just like usually most of the course I teach pathfinding, and then the final 2 days I might teach min-max, the min-max algorithm, and how you can use it for like, I don't know, like chess or tic-tac-toe or something. And that's basically the entirety of the workshop. That takes up like 5 days of teaching. Although it's in Saudi Arabia, and it looks like I got lucky this year because that was in January, and now I would not want to be heading to Saudi Arabia. So I hope things calm down again in time for next January. Like what was the best humans then? Only top 1% humans, then only top 0.00001% humans, then AIs with expert help, then AIs without humans, and now they're so good we don't even have a resemblance of a chance. Yeah. I guess it really just comes down to how the government is willing to transition everyone, because people had the same concerns when the internet came out, but as long as, and I know there's bad governments out there, so this may not happen, but as long as there are ways and methods in which all the people whose skills are replaced are trained or transitioned over to using the LLMs instead of what they were doing before, then it can work. But I realize in some places that won't happen, but I don't know what to say about those places. UK and US could be one of those places, I don't know. It just depends how the government handles this. Realistically, if AI is better at everything, there is nothing for use to do that is useful, so the need for human labor will be over. I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, people have written, like, I remember one of my teachers in school was even teaching us about a novel that was written on this topic, and how eventually like computers in this novel, computers took over, but they still paid people just to do something dumb like pressing a button over and over again or something. Oh, there was a Rick and Morty episode that did that thing. Maybe that was based on the book. And the point of that was just to make people think that they were doing something useful, but actually everything was covered by the AI anyway. But the point of making them press this button was that so that they still get a salary and they still think they're doing something. I don't know if that's what will become, but whether it even happened in my lifetime. But if it just gets to the point where people just can get paid, say, like a base salary to do nothing, or a higher salary to do like in-demand jobs that are still needed and can't be done by AIs, maybe that's a good future. That means a lot of people who are struggling to find jobs can actually get, you know, like a universal base salary, and the people who actually want to pursue like difficult stuff that's still in demand, like doctoring and stuff, can do that. In my experience, if you don't lead the AI the correct way, then you won't get the output that you want. If you don't have a good grasp of the underlying field, then you can't ask the right questions and you can't write the correct prompt. Yeah, that's true. But then I also only really use like the cheap version of ChatGPT when I'm doing stuff like that. So for all I know, the most expensive professional version, like that costs several $100s a month, could be much better. I've never tried it. Alright, I haven't actually done any coding in the last 20 minutes. I don't know whether to just end the stream soon or... I'll try and round this off. Where was I? Okay, power sources. For... in self.power sources. We want to find the best power source for this snake to go to. So it's just distance path equals get path from start to that power source. Okay. What if there's no path? We didn't really handle that case, did we? if goal not in came from return none. Alright, so if D is none, then we'll just skip this one. So assuming it found a path, in theory it should always find a path because we're not even using snakes as a collision right now. Alright, so if best power is none, or D is a close. So if D is smaller, then best dist. Then we found a closer path. So we do best power, best dist equals power power source let's rename this best step. Best dist, best step equals D, and then we need to take the step, tell it which step to go to get to that power. So that's going to be path 0? Yeah, that's the next step. Why doesn't it like that? Because it could be none. Yeah, well, I don't care. So after we've done that, we've hopefully found a power source which we can get to, and it's the closest. So we'll just that's easy then. We just do self dot what was the command? Self dot move. So it's this snake to this no. We want the direction, not the so we wanted the vector, or unit vector. So we take that next step, subtract the start, and that gives us the direction. Pop that into here. Best step, and that's where we send the snake. All right, I wrote a whole bunch without testing anything, so let's watch it break. Not provided one line in time. I was hoping for an error. Well, I guess we've got stuck in an infinite loop or something. Oh. Wait. Get path, start, goal. While Q, current equals Q dot pop, current equals goal, break. So we should eventually get to the goal. Goal not in came from none, return none, game. So we're not even printing wait, so we must be stuck in an infinite loop. Well. Let's just see how big this queue is. Yeah, it's growing infinitely. Oh boy. So it didn't find a path. Is that... Oh. Oh, that is possible. Wait, really? That snake literally can't get out, can it? Is that snake actually trapped? But wait, no. Okay, no, but my BFS still shouldn't go infinitely. There's a finite number of spaces in there, so that shouldn't happen. What's the seed number? There. You want me to paste it? You want to have a look at this? It's trapped. Yeah, I guess it is possible to get trapped. That's fine. Although I wouldn't think that would crash my BFS. There should always be a path to a given power source, or it should just exhaust all. Okay. While cube. Oh! No, that's right. I did initialize it with start. Okay, fine. We should just not go out of bounds, because there's no reason to send the snake off in a wild direction. But how far are we allowed to go from the... Well, I guess technically you could move... There's no reason to go 2 spaces out, is there? Ever. Because if you wanted to go around something, you would just go 1 space out. You would never go 2 spaces out. So I should just ban it from going 2 spaces out. Okay, so, let's just limit this to, let's say, define inbounds. So we're allowed to go to -1. We're allowed to go to width. But no further, right? Is there? There isn't any... Well, if there are snakes out of bounds, then you might want to go further to go around them, but we won't worry about that. So for neighbor, if not neighbor dot is in bounds, continue. Alright, let's see if that changes anything. Still growing massively, why? We shouldn't have more than... Oh, wait. Does it know the difference between... You know, it knows equality. This one we don't even need right now. Let's just hide that. I don't know why... Okay, we don't even need distance. Hash south xy. Okay, so how can it grow to more than... So it's... Okay, yeah, no, it would be in the hundreds. Okay, so it gets to about 200 or something, and then it goes down. That's actually expected. I think the problem is running a quadratic number of BFSs is actually just too slow. We don't need to. We just run one BFS, but all of these are in the goal. So it should be a goal set, not a goal. If... Alright, so we just have to adjust this. Say if current in goal set break check out this seed. Oh, that's nice. Snakes can just hang around and not do anything. The only winning move is not to play. Is that one you found randomly? I mean, that's a good control seed to test against as well. Like, we should still win that. We should, well, once I write a good algorithm. Alright, so... what was I? Goal... Not... Okay. Goal set. Goal set, break, okay. If we break out of this... then... if current in goals set and current in came from, that means it's a good, that means that's good. So we want to say if not that, then that means we failed to find any goal, because current should be whatever we left hanging. Goal set? Oh, go to goal set, okay. Then we would do that. Okay, so at this point we found a current is looking at the goal. All right, so we say temp equals current. distance to current. Okay, so that it will just break as soon as it gets to one of the power sources. That's, I guess, what we want. So here we don't have to actually simplify this. We just say instead of doing a million of these, we just do one. We just say start equals snake.getHead. D path equals that. That's going to be self.power sources. That's all. And if it found a path, because it's still possible that it might be trapped and there's no... Oh, well, we've got a test example right here where there's no power source. So if D is not none, then self.move, so it's going to be path 0 minus start. Let's see what this does now. Why are we printing on? Oh, we waited. Okay. Yeah. Let's first remove all that logging because it's. Have you ever tried programming with LLMs? Yeah, I've done a few things, but usually it's not writing software, but more like investigative. In particular, if I like was looking into, okay, so one thing, because I do Azadreams speedrunning for the video game Azadreams, so I uploaded the ROM, the PlayStation ROM of Azadreams to ChatGPT, and I tried to ask it to investigate some things, because that's something we did in the speedrunning community, but I just wanted to see if it could find new things that we haven't found. So it was sort of programming, but it was kind of, it was writing Python scripts and using it to like name variables, because I hate assembly code and I didn't want to try and dig into it myself. So it was sort of like assigning names for certain things and just figuring out what flags are doing and where they get set and stuff. It was doing quite well. It didn't find anything new that we didn't already know. But it did find stuff that we discovered, which is a start, because that was stuff that was like we didn't know about the game and we actually discovered. So it found it independently. So that's sort of like a proof of concept that it can actually discover things. So maybe I should actually keep it running and see if I can find more stuff. There are still mysteries that we have with that game, but for actually writing software, I don't think I've really done anything like that now. But I mean, I'm not opposed to doing such a thing. If I wanted to put together a script and have AI try to write it and then have me proofread it or like adjust it, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I would try it. I just haven't really had a case which has come up where I wanted to do it. But I think the video game field is one field which I'm pretty okay with using AI for, because a lot of the time it's just like finding glitches and stuff. I'm using it now for snakes, and I find it quite fun because I just tell them the logic I want. Yeah, I mean, if people want to like design methods that way, where you're just describing your ideas like on a whiteboard to the LLM and having it put them into practice, I can see the appeal. Yeah, but I guess the concern really is that it now becomes a different kind of competition altogether, and some people might not like competing on that. But yeah, as we discussed already, the devs have made it clear that they're welcoming both types of coding, and I guess that's fine. Okay, what was I doing? Oh, I want to remove some of that logging because it's just lagging it out. So our code is just waiting, isn't it? Which is actually correct. But it shouldn't crash. Okay. Well, I mean, the snakes literally crash into the walls. That's not ideal, but it's correct behavior. Why does the game end? Because there are no power sources. Okay. So we lose because we crashed. Well, whatever. Wait. No, wait. The snake shouldn't be moving. It should be waiting, shouldn't it? We said wait. Why did the snake move? Oh, you can't wait. Wait just means continue going in the direction you're already headed, doesn't it? You can't actually wait. You're not allowed to. It's snake. Okay, fine. Well, then I guess this is expected behavior. Let's try a normal seed then. I mean, to explain my experience, the hard part has always been knowing what to do. Once you know that, writing it is just a matter of sitting down and getting the grammar right. Yeah, that's like one of the reasons I like Python is because it's so much like natural language. So it removes that bridge between you and the syntax, and like it's like you're just writing in natural language. That's what I like about Python, and one of the reasons I recommend it to people. So yeah, LLMs is almost like that kind of bridge. Like you're telling the computer what to do in a natural language and it's doing it. Like, yeah, I see that. Is this? Can we get a new seed? Oh, remove. Go to auto mode. Look at that. That's okay, so the problem here is that we're not taking snakes into account. Like he's trying to go past that pink snake and he can't. Yeah, well oh, wait, no, that's the AI that's doing that. Oh my god, we won! We won a match. We won one match and it was a war of attrition. How? Wait, but he got a point. But he lost a snake. Wait, how is it even scored anyway? Oh, it's total body parts that matters. So if you lose a snake, that's a big penalty. Okay. I mean, technically, we've got something which could compete. It's probably not going to be very good, but whatever. Let's just compete. See what happens. Can I tell you my logic so far? Not sure if you don't want to get logic spoilers. Oh yeah, no, you're free to tell me any logic stuff. Like, backseating and spoilers is fully allowed. Whoa, we're actually winning games. This is such a piece of crap algorithm. We need to factor in the locations of the snakes, otherwise it's just going to keep trying to go through them, and you lose your snake if you do that, so... Wait, we're always waiting. And that sometimes wins us the game, but that's not right. But why is that happening? We should be seeing some movement here. Yeah, I've never seen a case where I'm actually... Oh, no, we are outputting... Oh. We're telling it to go down. Is that the closest spot? 1, 2, 3... 1, 2... No, because the closest one is here, isn't it? So why would that one be going down through itself? Because that is closer. 1, 2. I find the highest support cell, then I look for food in radius snake body length +1 off the cell on top of that. And then just sort closest to the snake head, then I move toward that food. So you're picking the highest platform, basically, with food nearby, and go towards that food. Alright. And the logic there is, like, to seize the high ground, basically? Why we're going down here? That's a bit weird. Wait, why? And that snake, it makes even less sense. Why is that snake going down? I bet that I flipped it or something, or because it's like I's and J's and X's and Y's, and maybe we should be going up, not down. No, but even up doesn't make sense for that one. No, it's that if the food is not body length +1 of the supported cell, the food is not reachable. Yeah, okay, yeah. Alright, clearly there's some bugs in my code, and I kind of wanted to stop soon. So I'm a bit tired to be doing this today. How quickly can I fix this? Also, I only realized today that the competition started. How long has it been out? Only 1 day, actually, isn't it? Yeah. Well, we've got... how long? 12 days and a bit, so there's plenty of time. I could do some debugging offline as well, because that's not fun to watch. So I'm gonna have to check the path. Yeah, if I print the path, that's gonna be a big giveaway for why this is failing. Let's just say it's getting too cold. I need to turn the AC off. This hotel doesn't have a remote for the AC. I have to put a button pad near the bed for controlling the AC. Never seen that before. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, I was gonna print the path. How many people are streaming? Is this still just me? It's always just me whenever I stream. Maybe I stream at the worst times for Europe, which is I think the main audience, or the main, what time is it? France is like, I think one of the, it's a French website even, isn't it? afternoon. I think people just don't stream this as much as they used to. Back when they introduced like this feature, it was huge. There were usually loads of people streaming, and they would all be like raiding each other and stuff. Maybe just streaming coding itself is not as common now. I don't know. Okay, just print the this log snake dot get head get snake dot id num d path. Right, just print all that stuff. Let's see what happens. Rank 776 out of 993. Wait, I thought there were like thousands of people in the leaderboard. Oh, there's 17,000 people registered, but that doesn't mean... Oh, so the only number of people who have actually submitted a bot is 993. Okay, well, I guess there'll be more over the coming days. Alright, what is happening here? $120? What? Okay, hang on, let's start from the beginning. Okay, so this is Snakebot 5. Yeah, this is not 69 distance. What? That's okay. This is not the shortest path, is it? If I just used the queue completely wrong, that's quite possible. What is this gigantic path? Did I even do... Oh, wait, did I even use the right type of queue? What did I use? Oh my god. I used it as a stack, didn't I? This is depth first search. It's pop left, not pop. Pop left for a queue, pop for a stack. No wonder it was going infinitely, because it was just doing depth first, and so it was just going off into the sunset. No wood leagues this time, yeah. I think they've probably cut down on the wood leagues because it was computationally expensive to run them. Well, at least for the last competition, they had almost like a tutorial system, so they only really let you into the proper competition league once you passed each of the bosses. And I guess that was a good way to weed out a lot of bad submissions, just to cut down the number of people, because I guess it would cost more server time if they didn't. But they didn't do that system this time. Lord Number, is it worth it to go for Monte Carlo and Minimax algorithms? Yes, I think a lot of people have a lot of success with those types of algorithms. They're quite popular. It depends on the type of game, but I think in general, yes, that is in fact a very common paradigm. It's just the difficulty comes in like how you prune and where you have thresholds and cutoffs and stuff. Because yeah, you don't have enough compute to do something optimal because, well, obviously there's no true definition of optimal here, but you just have to, like, for some games, like I even used a timer and I would monitor the timer, and if I saw that we were getting close to the time, then I would cut off. Though admittedly there were only like maybe 2 games where I ever did that. A lot of the time I just kind of wrote my algorithm in a way that I knew wouldn't really go that far into the tree, but if you wanted to kind of try and use the full time allowance, then you could use a timer. And that was a popular thing for some things. And then you can kind of do more exhaustive searches. And that's actually quite good in terms of results. And some of the best solutions and some of the best bots do that. And like you've got 1,000 milliseconds for the first turn. You can use that time to compute a lot of stuff ahead of time. I usually don't bother doing that, but it's a good thing to do. Interesting, you can have up to 8 snakes. Bird ID 3. Bird? What? Are they birds? What are they explicitly called snake bots? Why is it called bird? Alright, I was confused when I read through the referee code too. Maybe they had originally intended it for it to be birds and they forgot to change it to snakes. There's a bird and apple class. Or maybe that's a hint for something coming in the later leagues and it wasn't meant to be written that way. I don't know. Alright. So... Oh, okay, replay. So now it should be doing breadth first instead of depth first, which is a whole different thing. Hopefully we should get some... Oh my god, they're moving! Oh my god! Oh, I'm eating myself. Oh. It's the Ouroboros. Can't pronounce that word. $15 points, not bad. Our snakes are actually doing something now. Oh, look at him, he's trying to get up. Oh, cool. So this one is going for that one, but as soon as he knows that's gone, he's going for that. I mean, they don't have Swarm AI yet, but they should. Like, they should... If he's going for that one, then we should rule it out from the set so that no one else goes for that one, which is not hard to do. I just have to kind of make a reserved set. But yeah, that's something I have to do. Well, that's whole much better. Let's submit that now. That could jump up a few places. Still very naive, but I mean, it's at least if you write something that's getting power and not dying much, then usually you'll beat a whole bunch of people because a lot of people have buggy code. Why lost though? Reach 200 turns. 200 turns is a cap. Yeah, if there's no power. Yeah, well, no. If there's no power cells, it's also an end state. So the game ends immediately. So I lost because I just didn't have as many points. If that snake hadn't eaten himself so much, then I probably would have won. Is quite useful for me. Commands.append mark XY. It marks a cell. You can use it to see which food your snakes are going for. Yeah. You can also have it. You can also have the snakes have a little message above them as they're moving around, I believe. $901. I'm sure it'll go higher than that. Oh. Oh wow, we actually won. They were both kind of screwing up a lot. See, he went into a wall there. That was just straight up bad pathfinding. But, and neither of us are even caring about the presence of snakes, which is, of course, that needs to be addressed. That's probably as much as I want to do today. We've got a bot that's doing stuff, so that's a good milestone. So the Bronze League will be released tomorrow. No, the Silver League will be released tomorrow. So the way they do that is they sort of pick one of these bots to promote, and that becomes the threshold bot, and everyone who beats that bot gets promoted. So it becomes the boss. They'll usually pick someone like, I don't know, somewhere in the leaderboard. So usually they'll pick it based on a certain percentage of people are already above it. So that kind of sets the threshold. But also I think they'll also look at the code and see if it's like decent and not going to error all the time and stuff like that. And that's how they usually do it. I don't know if you ever get told that you get promoted to be the boss. I don't know if I ever have been the boss. They probably remove the debugging as well, so the boss doesn't show any debugging. Well, SG Buy was in here earlier. Let's run it against them. Yeah, okay. Hooray! It's a war of attrition. CCSSSTT. Okay. Is that your username? Oh, you're 52nd. I haven't looked at my, like, XP or whatever it is on the profile for a long time. Let's see if I've gone down from lack of activity. Master. I could have sworn I was a Grandmaster at some point. But just... Oh, look, I've always been hovering at the border between Master and Grandmaster. I don't know whether it's ever actually technically gone over. What was my first... That was when I first did the hypersonic competition. That... Alright, let's see. I'm green. Oh, I got a big snake. Interesting. So it can this actually be done? Well, okay, so yeah, I could reach these ones if I were to go over to the right. Or I think it looks like it's actually possible to climb up. Yeah, no, yeah, I'd be able to get up here and then just get up here. And then I'd be able to get those. Yeah, so if I implement pathfinding with gravity, that's going to be a huge improvement. Yeah, I just win. And also just try not to crash into each other. Okay. Beavers. Hang on. Let me just follow you as well. Where's the button? There we go. Wait. Oh, I have to open a new tab. There we go. Alright, I hit 830. I was hoping it would go a bit higher, but yeah, I mean, it's still not that great. It's just a little bit better than before. Green. Alright. Is it stabilized? I think it's... Yeah, it's stabilized. Okay, well, it's a start, I guess. Hello, you can try me too. Peter Rocklife. Alright. Welcome in, Peter Rocklife. I'm probably about to finish soon. Peter... I don't know if I'll be on again tomorrow. I'm not sure how many of these streams I'll do. Alright, see, I'm green. I always start by two snakes crashing into each other, so it's not... Alright, it ended quite quickly, but yeah. Alright, guess I'll stop there. I don't want to start any new features. So next time... the league might even be open tomorrow. So next time I stream, I'll probably... I've mentioned a few things. Using the snakes in the pathfinding, because that's clear. That's an obvious thing to do. That should be the first thing I do. Implementing gravity into the pathfinding, because we can see where the snake is going to end up fully. So the location of the snake is not just the location of the head as a position, but basically a full tuple of its body. I guess that's how I should be describing it. It's not like that would inflate the complexity too much. Because configurations of the snake are different states. So that will mean I can do gravity and work out where the snake will end up. So if it's like up here, does it instantly fall down before the next turn? Does it fall down all the way, or does it fall down once per turn or something? Okay, it's instant. It falls all the way down. It's solid. And we can account for going out of the map, but it should also take into account that they could drop out. And then that will hopefully be better. Also, the snakes need to coordinate and not go for the same power source. Sometimes you can have one of your bots like do something aggressive while the others collect resources, but I don't think that will be particularly good here. I don't... Like, you can try and get in front of your opponent's snake and have them crash, but it's probably not a strategy that's actually going to pay off. Rather than collecting power sources, I don't know. Falls all the way down, yeah. So as long as I don't extend my full body out, then it's actually okay to dip out, I suppose. In rare cases where I want to get around an obstacle, but... Alright. Is anyone actually doing CodinGame then? Like, not even necessarily this...
When it changed it to New York. I wonder why. Well, the Dutch must...
No, it's just me. I've submitted my new bot. It's still bad, but you can try against the new one. Alright, one last go. Yours was the CCTT. Why is it not here? Hang on. Let me just try searching for it again. Okay, whatever. To click follow, didn't I? So I'm green. We both got one good snake, and my... What the heck? Why am I doing that? Oh, it's because I don't know what to do. So by default, he just goes forward. Because he can't find a path to... But there should be a path. Because he's not even taking gravity into account, so... I'm not sure why my snake is just going off to the side like that. See, Pink is doing a better job here, because he's trying to go for that. Yeah, and he even gets to it. Yeah, that's weird. Are you trying to go backwards directly? Oh man, that's... I didn't even account for that, did I? That's another big issue. Yeah. Yeah. That's an easy fix. Yeah, I'm not doing that today though. But yeah, that's definitely an issue. Yeah, so I need to work out the heading by looking at the second segment and get the vector from my head to my second segment, and that is the vector we're not allowed to go through. Now update it to my new bot. Don't know if I might need to add you again then. Oh, there's exactly 1,000 people. Stop. Oh, oh, oh. Oh! Oh my god. No! I had it! I had it! Well, that was an exciting one. Yeah, that was bad. Me ran into myself. All right. So no one's doing CodinGame. Is anyone doing anything coding related that I care about? I don't know. I prefer usually just to... oh, the only other thing I'll probably consider is Advent of Code. If anyone's doing that... Oh! Oh no, that's not live. Alright, forget it. I don't want to raid then. All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching. I also upload these videos to YouTube as is. I don't really cut them down or edit them, so I'll do that as well. But I don't know if I'll carry on tomorrow, but probably the day after tomorrow, at the very latest, I'll give it another stab. Try and do all of those things that I mentioned. I don't tend to spend as long on these competitions as I used to years ago, because I'm more into Advent of Code now for the streaming purposes, but we'll see. Yeah, see you guys next time.